So today I'm going to be sharing my top 3 favorite makeup products in every category. Part 2. We're going to be covering the eyes, eyeliner, primer, concealer, brows, mascara, and lips. So in case you're interested, then keep on watching. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Cat's Eye Beauty. And if you're new here, thank you so much for stopping by. I'm over 50 years old and I love testing out makeup and skincare products, everything from drugstore to high-end and everything in between. And today it is part 2 for my top 3 favorite makeup products in every category, in collaboration with my really good friend Lisa from Lisa Monique Beauty. Now, when I tell you she is a sister from another mister, I mean it. If you're familiar with her channel, which I'm sure you are, she is a huge channel and a great wealth of information for the over 50 woman. We actually met about 2.5, 3 years ago, and we have spent pretty much a great deal of time together. We've vacationed together, we've been shopping together, she's come to my house. We just have a really great time whenever we are hanging out together. And like I said, she is definitely like my older sister. I love learning from her and vice versa. So without further ado, let's get into the video. And be sure to check out her channel. I'll put the links to her part 1 and part 2 down in the description box. How you doing? Okay, let's start with color corrector for the under eye area. If you know me by now and my channel, there's just one true love for my color corrector. It is drugstore, it's affordable, it's from Milani. It is the Supercharged Brightening Under Eye Tint, and I'm in the shade 120 Peach. I don't have a lot of discoloration under my eyes, but when I do, it's purple. Peach is the shade to color correct for purple. And what's wonderful about this product, not only is it affordable and accessible, but it's hydrating at the same time. Now, I do have normal to dry skin. I do have a rather drier under eye area. So I like to hydrate it before I apply concealer. I just apply a tiny amount to color correct, and sometimes I just use that if I do a no makeup day. Now, it's not a concealer, it's a color corrector, and it definitely brightens the under eye area, but I absolutely love the Milani Supercharged Brightening Under Eye Tint. Let's talk about concealers. Now, I did hone it down to 3, and there's definitely drugstore makeup products in these top 3 categories. So let's start with the concealer that I'm actually wearing. It is from Kosas. It is their Revealer Concealer, and I'm in the shade 04. There's something so emollient and creamy about this concealer that doesn't settle into my fine lines. There's something about the shade that just really goes well with my undertones, but it is definitely a creamier concealer. It is a medium coverage and it just looks so beautiful on the skin. It doesn't settle into my fine lines. I like to apply it only where I need brightening and only if I need a little bit more coverage. Remember, if you're using a color corrector and then you're using a concealer on top of that, less is more. Concealer is definitely heavier in consistency compared to your foundations, so you definitely want to go in very sparingly. The more concealer you apply, the more it's going to age you. It's the more layers it's going to add. So definitely use a light hand with concealer. I like to apply it, wait a few seconds, maybe about 20 to 30 seconds, and then tap it in gently with the heat of my fingertip so it will not settle into my fine lines. Now, I do sometimes like to use a dampened beauty sponge to just evenly disperse it under my eye area. It just really lays under that under eye area so smooth and so beautifully. It's just a fantastic concealer. It's one of my all-time favorites. Now, for a drugstore concealer, I have been loving this ever since I started my channel. It is from Milani. It is the Milani Conceal and Perfect Long Wear Concealer. This is full coverage. Now, if you really want to cover up those dark circles and you do have a lot of discoloration under your eyes and you're looking for a fantastic, affordable drugstore concealer, this one's it, baby. This has been compared to Tarte Shape Tape. I think it's a fantastic concealer. It's so affordable. I believe it runs, I think you can get it for like $8.99 or $9.99, but I'll be sure to put all the products listed in the links below. Now, if you do click on those links, it does help out my channel a bit. So in case you need to shop and you're looking for a specific product, check out my links. But yes, and now for my favorite all-time concealer. It is from Dominique Cosmetics. It is their Wide Awake Concealer. What's unique about this particular product is the wand tip applicator. It's made out of metal. It's so cool, and it has a cooling wand tip effect, medium to full coverage. It just looks so pretty on the skin, and I love the wand tip applicator where it actually depuffs your puffy eyes. The consistency to me is creamy without being too thick. It's like that sweet, sweet spot of the perfect consistency of concealer. You know how some concealers are kind of thick and kind of heavy? This one like falls right in the middle. It definitely gives you medium to buildable full coverage, but I find that this is the perfect amount of coverage for my under eye area. Yeah, and I'm in the shade Creme Brulee. I love supporting independent cosmetic companies, and Dominique Cosmetics is one of my all-time favorites. If you remember in part 1, I absolutely love her translucent powder. It just sets your under eye area so beautifully, and it does have hyaluronic acid in it as well to hydrate your complexion. I love the name of this product because it definitely wakes your eyes up, especially with that cooling wand tip applicator. Now for eye primers. Now I know a lot of women don't believe in eye primers, but let me see if I could change your mind. Now, I know a lot of us can use concealer. I use concealer from time to time when I'm in a hurry. Before I apply my eyeshadow, I just take whatever's left on my dampened beauty sponge and apply it directly to my eyelids, and that is a quick and easy way to apply concealer / eye primer. But what about an eye primer that's literally good for your eyelids, that's super delicate, thin skin on your eyes, that's going to treat it, that's going to literally iron out the crepiness of your eyelids. This is a skincare product. It's also an eye primer. It is from City Beauty. It is their lid lifting treatment. You guys, this is a miracle worker. You literally just apply a tiny amount. You tap it onto your eyes, and instantly, I know it's called the lid lifting treatment, I feel like I had my eyes lifted. It really smooths out the crepiness, really prepares your eyelids for eyeshadow or just having a smooth, nice lid. This is one of my all-time favorite products from City Beauty. Not only is it a fantastic skincare product that makes smooth eyelids, but it really works as an eyeshadow primer. If there's one eyeshadow primer that you need, it's absolutely the lid lifting treatment. I highly recommend it if you do have crepey eyes and eyeshadow just doesn't sit well on your eyelids. Definitely give this a try. You will not be sorry. Like I said, it is skincare as well as an eyeshadow primer. I apply this at night right before I go to bed. I just take a little bit and I dab it onto my eyelids, and it just is hydrating. It's smoothing. It's literally like an iron ironing out your crepey lids. But if you're in the market for skincare as well as a great eyeshadow primer, definitely try City Beauty's lid lifting treatment. If you're going to use it as an eye primer, I suggest applying it and waiting at least 1 minute for it to settle onto your eyelids. But yes, lid lifting treatment, City Beauty. As far as regular eyeshadow primers, one of my all-time favorites is from Gerard Cosmetics. It is their Clean Canvas eye primer, and I'm in the shade Light. This is a super emollient eye primer because I do have a drier eye. Does that make sense? And it really just creates that smooth canvas, and then once you apply the eyeshadow, it's really going to make the colors pop, and it prevents your eyeshadow from creasing. Now, if you have oily eyelids, might I suggest from MAC, it is their MAC Paint Pot. This used to be my holy grail. As you can see, it is very well loved, but I find sometimes it can be a little too waxy, a little too heavy on the lids. If your eyelids tend to get a little oily, this is a great consistency. Not necessarily drying, but it's going to lock everything in place. But they have several different shades. I know Lisa likes this. Those are my eyeshadow primers. If you want your eyeshadow looks to last all day and not crease, definitely try an eyeshadow primer. Let's talk about eyeshadow. Now that we're on the subject of it, oh my gosh, this was one of the categories where I'm like, how am I going to hone this down to just 3? Well, I split them up into different categories. I split them up into large eyeshadow palettes, cream eyeshadows, single pot eyeshadows, and mini quads. So let's start with, you know me, I love an easy one and done eyeshadow look. And when it came to cream eyeshadow, I absolutely love these two single shadows. One is from Maybelline. It is their color tattoo in the shade High Roller. And this shade is just exquisite. It's like a bronzy shade. It's super creamy, super balmy. As you can see, this would be perfect for fall. I love just dabbing it all over the lid and quickly blending it out. It's like a beautiful bronze shade. And then my other favorite is from Charlotte Tilbury, the Eyes to Mesmerize, and it's in the shade Oyster Pearl. Slightly different than the Maybelline. It's a little more bronzy. It's a little bit more emollient. It just looks beautiful on the lids. It's so easy to tap on and blend out. When I'm in a hurry and I still want my eyes to look pulled together, I definitely reach for a cream pot eyeshadow. More than likely, it'll either be the Maybelline Color Tattoo, or if I'm feeling bougie, it's the Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerize in Oyster Pearl. I think it's a universally beautiful color that's going to be very flattering on most eyes. Speaking of one and done, I love the No Budge matte cream sticks from e.l.f. Now, I do have several other colors, but I particularly love the shade Thrift Shop. It is such a beautiful taupey shade. When they say no budge, they mean no budge. It's a cream to powder formula and it just looks exquisite on the eyes. It's like the perfect neutral shade. It's the perfect transitional shade. I just throw it above my crease and just buff it out with an eyeshadow brush, and it is there all day long. Throw some mascara on and call it an eye look. But the e.l.f. No Budge Cream Shadow Sticks, the matte ones, are so good, so creamy, and they're $5. And the other shade that I love is Cool Bean. It's like this deep, dark chocolate, well, coffee brown color. Look how deep and coffee-ish that is. It looks a little intimidating at first, but it's so easily blendable. You can really blend it out quick with your brush, and you can use this as an eyeliner. But I love these No Budge Shadow Cream Sticks from e.l.f. $5 a piece. Are you kidding me? Fantastic price. Now let's talk about quads. And when I say quads, 4-pan eyeshadow palettes. One of my all-time favorites, Drugstore. I'm sure you know which one this is. It is from e.l.f. It is their Bite-Size Crush eyeshadow palettes. They have a plethora of color stories, but I love the color story Rose Water. It is just the perfect combination of cool tone mauves, and they're just so pretty. I especially love this shimmer shade right through here. You can absolutely put it all over the lid and blend it in for that one and done eyeshadow look. You've got a nice deep rich wine shade through here. You can use it as an eyeliner, and then this is fantastic as a transitional shade. It's like a cool tone mauve, and they retail for what, $5? Rose Water is one of my favorite. I love Cream and Sugar as well, but these are super easy to come up with a quick look. Totally affordable, totally accessible, but yes, love the e.l.f. Bite-Size Crush eyeshadow palettes. You cannot go wrong with any of these palettes. My favorite other quad is from Tom Ford, and the only reason why I could afford Tom Ford is when I went down to the cosmetics company store down in Destin, Florida, when I hung out with Lisa. I was fortunate to get these for like 80% off. I know, that's absurd, isn't it? But the particular color story that I love is Honeymoon. It is this beautiful palette of like golds and burgundies and wines. They are just so buttery and so silky and so soft. I love this deep wine shade color. Look how stunning that is. And then you have this lighter shade. They are just beautiful. They're all shimmers, but they are still so beautiful. Look at the pigment on that. And then you have these two gorgeous shades up through here. They're like a warm copper and a warm bronze shade. Even though they're shimmers, you can totally pull them off as a one and done eyeshadow look. But look at the pigment on that. Just beautiful, and there's zero fallout. They're just stunning. They're just high quality luxury. They are super expensive, but if you have a cosmetics company store near you, like an outlet mall, definitely check them out. Sephora does carry these quads, but they're just beautiful quality, and if you want to splurge on a beautiful quad, definitely Tom Ford. It just screams luxury. Now, for my large eyeshadow palettes. This is kind of difficult because I don't normally purchase a lot of large eyeshadow palettes. I think it's kind of overwhelming. There's so many shades, there's so many color stories, and I don't want to do a lot of thinking when I put together an eyeshadow look. But these 3 eyeshadow palettes that I picked out are just truly standouts. These are the ones that I've been reaching for. These are the ones where I don't really have to think too much in order to create a cohesive, beautiful look. The first one, you're not going to believe it, and it's actually what I'm wearing right now. It's from Wet n Wild. It is their Always Naked eyeshadow palette. This is so well loved, as you can see. It is the best drugstore neutral eyeshadow palette you will ever come across. I believe they sell it at Walmart. I think I got it for like $8.99, $9, but it is just the perfect blend of warm and cool tone neutrals. I pull from this every single day. The matte shades in this palette are creamy. There's not a lot of fallout. Now, there are a couple of shades that are duds in here, I admit it, but for $9, who's complaining? But these shimmer shades are beautiful as well. I just went in with this cool tone suede shade right through here, and I brushed it all over my transitional shade and went in with this deep dark burgundy wine color. How beautiful is that? I just applied it to the outer thirds of my eye and flicked it out. And then for all over the lid, I went in with this penny copper shade. This eyeshadow palette, I will say it again and again and again, it is one of my top 3 all-time favorite eyeshadow palettes, not only because it has a fantastic formula, but it's affordable. So if you are looking for an affordable neutral eyeshadow palette, this is definitely it. It is Wet n Wild's Always Naked. Again, on the opposite end of the spectrum, I recently reviewed the new Natasha Denona My Dream eyeshadow palette. And like I said, big eyeshadow palettes overwhelm me. They intimidate me. But the shades in this eyeshadow palette are cool tone. They're warm tone. They have jewel tones. The mattes are creamy, so easily blendable. The shimmers look like glass on your eyelids. I mean, some of these shades to me, I absolutely love. I love Edgy. It's this deep aubergine shade. And then Instinct is a fun pop of purple. But then you've got your terracotta shades through here. You've got your neutrals and your deep browns. And of course, your coppers. I think it's versatile. I think it's easy to work with. I think it's beginner friendly. So if you're wanting to splurge on a fantastic eyeshadow palette that can do it all, I highly recommend My Dream palette from Natasha Denona. If you're not into jewel tones and if you're not into a lot of neutrals and you want something more earthy, a little more ethereal, I really love the Anastasia Beverly Hills, their Nouveau palette. This recently launched earlier this summer. It is a 12-pan eyeshadow palette, not as versatile as the Natasha Denona, but I love these whimsical pops of color like peacock and wings, and especially wisteria, this fantastic lavender shade. This really gives off fairy vibes, ethereal vibes, but also earthy vibes as well. I love the shade Hope, beautiful shade of green, like a sagey green, and it's just so smooth and beautiful. There's a cat. I think a very unique palette. One thing about ABH's formula, it does have some kickback to it, so you've been warned. But like I said, if you're looking for a beautiful ethereal palette and you love greens and you love lavender and some neutral thrown in, the Nouveau palette from ABH is definitely in my top 3. Let's talk about eyeliner. Simple girl here. You know, if you've been with me for a while, I stick with products that work tried and true for me. And fortunately, they're drugstore. For tightlining my waterline or for an eyeliner that's not going to budge, I absolutely love the L'Oreal Signature Liner Mechanical Pencil. Now, I love it in Noir Cashmere, which is their black, but I recently picked up a new shade, and it's the shade Brown, which is denim. And I tightlined with this particular shade. I think brown looks so beautiful on the eyes, especially if you have blue eyes, but it's something a little more muted, a little more sophisticated, not as jarring as black. But this is a beautiful creamy pencil that really does not budge. It doesn't transfer from my eyelash line to my lower lash line. It definitely stays in place. It's totally affordable. I picked this up at Target for $9.99. It's retractable. It's L'Oreal. It's absolutely beautiful. But look how deep and rich that brown is. I've been gravitating towards brown eyeliner for this season. I don't know why. I just think it looks a little more sophisticated, a little more muted. But yes, this is the Liner Signature Pencil in brown. I don't know why they call it denim. If I want a dramatic eye look, and I am going to do it with a liquid eyeliner, you guys, you know me, it is the Maybelline Hyper Easy Liquid Eyeliner Pen. This is the perfect liquid liner, a nice flexible tip. It's nice and matte, doesn't move, it doesn't smudge, it doesn't budge. And I love the really fine tip. I love how black it is. And then for me, it's super easy to tap on the top of my eyelash band if I want to give myself a beautiful, easy wing. But this is from Maybelline, the Hyper Easy Liquid Eyeliner Pen. If I had to go with a higher end liquid eyeliner, it's from Benefit. It is their roller liner. I absolutely love that one. Pigment on that is a matte black. It doesn't budge, it doesn't smudge, and it really has a nice, perfect, flexible tip for applying that perfect winged eyeliner. Now, for mascara, I think you're going to be surprised on this one. My top three definitely includes a drugstore mascara. The first one is from CoverGirl. It's from their Simply Ageless line and is their lash plumping mascara. Not only is this a beautiful volumizing and lengthening mascara that's not going to smudge or budge, but it's actually nourishing for your eyelashes. It actually has a balm in it that's going to nourish and treat your lashes. Now, I know at our mature age, we tend to lose our eyelashes and they become thin and brittle, but this is just a beautiful formula that's going to lengthen. It's not going to clump. It volumizes. I love the wand tip applicator. It's your traditional wand tip applicator that's going to grab every single lash and it comes off easily. But I love the fact that it has nourishing ingredients that'll treat your lashes. I do have a tubing formula that I absolutely love. It's kind of new. It's from Tarte. It is their Tartelette Tubing Mascara. You guys, I love this mascara. It has worked wonders. It really does lengthen. It doesn't smudge or budge. Since it's a tubing formula, it really does lengthen your lashes. Now, it does have a different type of wand tip applicator. It's shaped kind of like a pine tree with silicone teeth. You do have to be cautious when you're applying it because if you poke yourself in the eye, it definitely hurts. The formula encapsulates around each lash and lengthens them and really gives you a beautiful, long, fluttery eyelash. But this is from Tarte, their new Tartelette Tubing Mascara. Now, I have recently been testing out a brand new mascara from one of my all-time favorite cosmetics company, from Tower 28 Beauty. It is their Make Waves mascara. Now, this is especially geared for sensitive eyes. Now, at first, I wasn't on board with the wand tip applicator. I thought it was a little strange, and let me show it to you. It kind of has an unusual wand tip applicator. It's kind of shaped like a little C, but one side has really short silicone teeth, as I would call them, and then as you can see on the curve, outward curve, the little silicone teeth are longer. Now at first I was like, how the heck do you use this? What I like to do is flip it this way, wiggle it under my lashes, and then use the shorter part to really pull them out and lengthen. This mascara has literally changed my life. It really holds the curl. I've tried it several times without curling my lashes, and it really does hold a curl. But for me to be able to apply a mascara without curling them and really have them stay up all day is really phenomenal. This is my favorite mascara. Okay, let's talk about lipstick. Oh boy, okay. Let me talk about lipstick first. I'm not a traditional lipstick kind of girl. I don't know. Sometimes they can feel a little waxy or a little heavy on my lips. So I know what my favorite lipsticks are, and they are from the drugstore. My favorite lipstick is from Milani. It is their Color Fetish Matte Lipsticks. These lipsticks are so creamy, so buttery. To me, they even beat out Charlotte Tilbury's lipstick. I know, right? I especially love the shade Secret. It's such a beautiful nude shade, and when I tell you the formula is like butter, it is so light on the lips. You're not sacrificing pigment for comfort. It's so soft on the lips, so buttery, so creamy. These shades are absolutely stunning. Now, I love the shade Secret. I also have the shade Peony. This is also a beautiful nude, almost pinkish tone lipstick. But look at that. Look how they just glided on my dry old hands. They come in so many different shades, but Secret and Peony are one of my all-time favorites. If I want to put on something nice, nude, and neutral with a little pink undertone, these are beautiful. If I have to go high-end and I have to go with comfort for a good lipstick, it's from Kosas. Again, Kosas. It is their lipstick shade in Rose Water. I find it is a beautiful pinkish nude undertone, and it's actually what I'm wearing right now. I love the component. It's magnetic, and of course Kosas is the clean makeup line, but the shade particularly Rose Water is so stunning. It looks natural on the lips. It's light on the lips. It's beautiful. It's hydrating at the same time. But if I had to go with any sort of lipsticks, it's definitely from Kosas and it's definitely from Milani. Now, if you don't like lipstick and you like lip balms, boy, do I have a really good balm for you. It is from NYX. It's their Filler Instinct Lip Balm, particularly in the shade Sugar Pie. Now, I ain't gonna lie, this is a balm that's supposed to plump your lips, and this does sting ever so slightly at first. Is it plumping? A little bit, but this shade is absolutely beautiful, like a beautiful dark mauvey brown that's perfect for fall. Isn't that beautiful? It's going to give you such a beautiful shine on the lips. It's going to hydrate at the same time. But if you're looking for something that's a little lighter in consistency and you're not into lipsticks, I highly recommend the lip balm from NYX, their Filler Instinct. Now, if you are looking for a balm and a gloss in one, I absolutely love the L'Oreal Glow Paradise Lip Balm Lipstick. It is like a fusion, if you will, of a lipstick, a balm, and a gloss in one. My favorite shade of all is Mulberry Bliss. Isn't that a stunning shade? It doesn't settle into your lines of your lips. It doesn't feather out or anything like that. It's just a beautiful consistency that gives you high shine, hydration at the same time. A little bit more pigment than a balm per se, but it is beautiful. I was actually wearing it in part 1 of my top 3 favorite makeup products. And last, but certainly not least, is eyebrows. I literally plucked out all my eyebrows in the 90s. You know, I had those really nice bushy eyebrows back then, but when the 90s hit and the thin brow came, I plucked them all out and I am regretting it now. One of my all-time favorite brow products, the way I like to fill in my brows because they are so sparse, is the brow palette from e.l.f. It retails for $4. What I like to do and how I like to apply it is with a flat angled brush on one end and then a spoolie on the other. This is from Benefit Cosmetics. I can easily carve out my brows and fill them in. And then after I carve out my brow, I like to brush it through with the spoolie and it just disperses the color. But yeah, I find using this method really does fill in my brows beautifully. They make them look natural. It gives me the definition as well as the fullness that I need. But yeah, this is the brow palette from e.l.f. I also do love a great pencil. It is from Maybelline. It is their Ultra Slim Brow Pencil. It has a 1.5 milliliter tip that's so easy and so precise for drawing in those faux hairs if you need to fill in your brows. I love the consistency because it's not too waxy, it's not too creamy. It's going to stay in place all day. It's so affordable, but it is the Maybelline Ultra Slim Brow Pencil, and I think I'm in the shade Brunette. Like I said, not too waxy and not too creamy. Now, if I had to go high-end and pick my favorite eyebrow pencil, it's going to be from Benefit Cosmetics, the Precisely My Brow Pencil, and I'm in the shade 3.5. On one end, it has your typical spoolie right through here, and then it has a retractable pencil. Again, it has a tiny, tiny little tip where you can effectively and precisely carve out your eyebrows and fill in where you need to. This is a beautiful consistency, but to be honest, I love my Maybelline. But if I had to pick a high-end, it is definitely from Precisely My Brow from Benefit Cosmetics. And this is $25. $25 versus $9 for Maybelline? Go with the Maybelline. So there you have it. Those are my top 3 makeup products in every category. I think we covered it. I hope you had fun hanging out with me today. I certainly did. It was really fun going through my entire makeup collection and really honing in on what products that I truly, truly love and what really works for our mature skin. And don't forget to check out Lisa's video. I'll be sure to put her part 1 and part 2 down in the description box. But I really had fun and I hope you did too. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. I would love it if you'd be a part of our family. In case you want to hang out a little bit longer and check out some foundation reviews, check out the playlist down here. And for skincare reviews, check out the playlist right over there. But for now, mahal kita, I love you, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Oh, you need to look
Oh, okay.
because we're doing your skin tone.
My skin tone. Oh, look at me. Would you look at that? God, I'm so pale next to you.
I know, look how tan I am.